African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 6th of September, 2024. From August 31st to September 6th, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out 17 group strikes with long-range precision weapons, including Kinzhal hypersonic aeroballistic missiles, as well as strike unmanned aerial vehicles, which resulted in the destruction of assembly plants of the rocket, space, and aviation industries, critical energy facilities, warehouses of missile and artillery weapons, fuel, and logistics. In addition, workshops for assembling unmanned aerial vehicles, storage areas for unmanned boats, as well as temporary deployment points for units of the Ukrainian armed forces, nationalist groups, and foreign mercenaries were hit. In the city of Poltava, the 179th Joint Training Center was damaged, where, under the guidance of foreign instructors, specialists in electronic warfare and operators of unmanned aerial vehicles were being trained to participate in strikes against civilian targets on the territory of the Russian Federation. Units of the North Group of Forces continued the operation to destroy Ukrainian armed forces formations in the Kursk region. Strikes by operational tactical and army aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles and artillery fire on areas where personnel and equipment of 6 mechanized, a tank, 2 airborne assault, and a Jaeger brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, a Marine brigade and 3 territorial defense brigades were concentrated, thwarting attempts to carry out attacks and introduce enemy reserves. In the Volchansk and Liptsov directions, formations of the Assault, Ranger, Airborne Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades were damaged. Over the week, in the area of responsibility of the North Group of Forces, the enemy's losses amounted to 3,280 servicemen, 9 tanks, 112 combat armored vehicles, 135 cars, 13 launchers of multiple launch rocket systems, including 4 HIMARS and 5 MLRS made in the USA, and 34 field artillery guns. During the week, units of the West Group of Forces occupied more advantageous lines and positions, defeated formations of 5 mechanized, motorized infantry, assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 territorial defense brigades, a National Guard brigade, and the Azov Special Forces Brigade. 14 counterattacks of assault groups of the Armed Forces of Ukraine were repelled. The enemy lost over 3,350 troops, 3 tanks, 10 armored combat vehicles, including 2 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers, 42 vehicles, 37 field artillery pieces, 21 of which were supplied by Western countries. In addition, 14 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, as well as 45 field ammunition depots, were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Forces improved the position along the front line, defeated the manpower and equipment of 7 mechanized, motorized infantry, airmobile, 3 assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades. 6 counterattacks of enemy assault groups were repelled. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost over 4,725 servicemen, 2 tanks, 3 armored combat vehicles, 29 vehicles, and 45 field artillery pieces, including 18 produced by NATO countries. Also, 11 electronic warfare stations and 20 field ammunition depots were destroyed. As a result of active and decisive actions by units of the Center Group of Forces, the settlements of Kirovo, Tiki, Skuchnoy, Karlovka, Zavodnoye, and Zuravka of the Donetsk People's Republic were liberated. Formations of 5 mechanized, infantry, ranger, airborne assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a National Guard brigade, and a territorial defense brigade were defeated. 53 counterattacks of units of the Armed Forces of Ukraine were repelled. Over the course of a week, the enemy's losses in this area amounted to 3,515 servicemen, 4 tanks, 14 armored combat vehicles, and 32 field artillery pieces. Units of the East Group of Forces liberated the settlement of Prechistavka of the Donetsk People's Republic, occupied more advantageous lines and positions, defeated the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized and motorized infantry brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades. Repulsed 10 counterattacks of assault groups. The enemy lost up to 860 servicemen, 3 tanks, 2 armored combat vehicles, 29 cars, 6 field artillery pieces, including 3 Polish-made 155mm Krab self-propelled artillery units. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on formations of 2 mechanized infantry, mountain assault brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, a Marine Brigade, a Coastal Defense Brigade, and 3 Territorial Defense Brigades. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 485 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, 31 vehicles, and 6 field artillery pieces, including 4 Western-made 155mm howitzers. In addition, 3 electronic warfare stations and 4 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Over the course of a week, 41 Ukrainian servicemen surrendered on the contact line. Over the past week, air defense systems have shot down a MiG-29 aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force and also intercepted 7 U.S.-made Adams operational tactical missiles, 20 French-made Hammer-guided air bombs, 54 U.S.-made HIMARS and Czech-made Vampire rockets, as well as 367 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. The Black Sea Fleet destroyed 11 Ukrainian unmanned boats. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 642 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 31,068 unmanned aerial vehicles, 578 anti-aircraft missile systems, 17,947 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,446 multiple launch rocket systems, 14,158 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 25,735 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.